Hey everybody, it's Jason with some Antiques. Here to do another video. This stuff I bought probably a few months ago and forgot to actually upload a video about it. Um, I've gone through it all already, so I pretty much know what's here. There's some things I kind of skimmed over, but let's take a look and see what all I got. I think I paid $200 for this box, so let's take a look. All right, like I say, I paid $200 for the box. Which I think is fair. There's some items that probably are worth $50 to $100 from what I've seen. I don't remember what some of this stuff is, so let's take a look real quick. I'll try to make this shorter than some of my other videos. Border map. 1930s, 40s, World War II. There's some photos with it. That's a really cool one. 1954 is a stamp on it. Thunderbirds coming home from Korea, the 45th. That's pretty cool. Another photo. The 45th again. This one's dated 45, so these would have been coming home from World War II, looks like. And this one from Korea. That's pretty neat. Let's see what else we got. Alright, these are the postcards that I found in that collection. I went ahead and laid them out so I wouldn't have to spend a bunch of time. Most of them are from Fort Jackson. These up here. Some are posted. They're all 60s, 70s, Vietnam War era. These are from Paris Island. They are from, I think, 1969. That's the date I saw one that was posted. This one might be a little bit older. The swimming pool. And all of these are from Camp Jackson, which was World War I before they changed it to Fort Jackson. And some are actually posted. These at the top here I think are posted. Or at least have a message on them. Yeah, like this one. 1918. That's a large collection. I love the postcards, especially when it's posted, when you can read the messages and stuff on them. These are all postcards of Robert E. Lee. And this is important to the rest of the collection I bought, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. But these are mixed in with the Fort Jackson postcards. Let's see what else. Alright, here's some of the newspapers that were in there. This is from the Columbia Record here in South Carolina. 1942. That's just the front page. And here's the Stars and Stripes from the Mediterranean. About the European War ending. Never had one of these. And these are all from Guam, 1975. Interesting pieces. I'll have to translate and figure those out. Let's see what else. Alright, here's some more. These are a lot of photos that I found. Some things I just actually kind of discovered. This one I knew was in there. It's really cool. These are Associated Press photos of First Army maneuvers in 1941 here in South Carolina. They're all labeled. They're really cool photos. This one's cool with all the smoke. I'm guessing they were gassing them. Yeah, this is a cool one. You see the little explosion back there. They were demonstrating like a bomb drop. And like I said, these are all 1941. is the date on all of them. These were really cool, the cavalry. These two are the same photo but different information on the back for both of them. Really cool. Again, all here in South Carolina. This one I just discovered. Didn't know it was even in there. Really nice portrait. The Mobile Army Reserve stickers or decals from, I think, the 50s. These are cool. This photo I didn't know I had either. The signalman on the USS South Carolina, it says 1920. Photo of I don't know if that's a grave or a memorial in France, but it's in French, so I have to translate that to see exactly what it is. This one says it's an original of something, but it doesn't have any information on location. It's a cool one here in South Carolina, it says. 1943. Ordnance officer. This is really cool. So I'm guessing this goes with the 45th photos I had earlier, but it's Happy New Year. And has it translated what he wrote, Merry Christmas, Korea. You see right here, it shows him above the DMZ. It says, "Here I am." I don't know for sure, but like I said, it might be this. They were together, so maybe it's that guy there. It's a photo of a South Carolina Air Guard P-51. Looks like it's probably a static display. Yeah. Well, that's still cool. And these are just some photos of civilian photos, South Carolina. But this right here is a neat piece I knew was in here. And if you can read it, hopefully you can. But this is where this Tech 5 Renner has a German Luger and a pair of German binoculars that he wanted to keep as a war trophy. And this is the authorization for him to actually keep them from the first lieutenant of an ordnance company. You can see the written there, the pistol, the German Luger, the date of December 6, 1945. Fortunately, I don't have the Luger. That would be great to have this go with it, but I've never seen one of those. And these two photos, World War I. It's written up here, Calamity Jane of the 11th Field Artillery, pounding away at Grand Prix, France. A really neat photo, along with this one in the same pack here. 3rd Field Artillery, 6th Division, going into action. World War I. Amazing pieces. Let's see what else we got. Alright, like I said earlier, the Robert E. Lee postcards have importance to this collection because of some of these letters. But first I'm going to start with, this would be a World War I promotion. This soldier being promoted to a corporal in 1918 here at Camp Sevier, South Carolina, signed by brigadier general. I do know a collector here in South Carolina that collects specifically from this camp, so I'm going to have to give him a call about this one, but that's a really neat piece. But these other pieces are more rare and cool. So cool, I had to break out the white gloves because of the age. You can barely see this one's really faded, but luckily somebody actually did some of the translations already from some of these letters for me. This is from a military academy, the Arsenal Academy here in Columbia, South Carolina, 1862. And it's from the superintendent to James Chestnut, Colonel James Chestnut, who eventually was a Confederate general. And it's describing some things like where to place artillery, elevations, locations, where bridges are, stuff like that. So I'm not quite sure exactly. I have to look more into that. That's a neat piece. And I think this letter is just a civilian letter, but it's from Civil War, 1863 here in Columbia, South Carolina. This, you can see there's Confederate States of America. Not sure why they wrote upside down on it. There's no translation. It's October 1863, I think out of Charleston. Again, I can't quite, I'm going to have to take some time to look at that one to figure out what exactly it says. This one is, looks like 1850, but I can't quite read it that quick to tell you what it says exactly, but I'll translate that one. This is one that has some translation with it. Sorry guys. It's not in the greatest shape. And luckily somebody's already translated it. And it's from Columbia in 1863. And it says this individual actually had to go to Wilmington, North Carolina with some deserters to bring them back. And it says at one point, one deserter was trying to get off, I guess, of the train, and he had to put him at gunpoint and order him to take a seat. And it says that he had to tell the guy if he didn't sit down, he would shoot him. And then the, quote, youngster took his seat, and he had no more trouble for the rest of the trip. It mentions going to a female college, I guess, at some point, and to look at the girls. And being on the gunboat, North Carolina. Anyway, really, really cool. This, I think, is from the same soldiers, dated 1863, out of Columbia, South Carolina. And it actually mentions how it's exciting times in Charleston right now. The walls of Fort Sumter are nearly battered down, but I saw an officer from there today who says they are stronger now than when the wall was standing. How confident they think the Navy can defeat the U.S. Navy. Sorry, that shadow was on there. That's crazy to think this was written at the time when Fort Sumter was being attacked and defended to start the Civil War off. I think one of these actually had a price. I think this one, whoever had this before me, paid $250 for that ladder. So that's great news. I'm not sure if it's still worth that or not, but this is let me see, I think there's information here too. Yep, it's an invoice of ordnance that Colonel W.G. Gill from the Augusta Arsenal, and it says he requested 170,000 musket ball charges, 12,000 rifle ball cartridges, 4,000 .54 caliber, 4,054 rounds, 15,000 rifles, 38,000, I think it says 69 rifles, 45,069 caps, 288 packing boxes. So just from the quartermaster for transportation. Amazing. This is actually earlier than Civil War. I'm not going to take it out again because I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up, but it's actually dated 1812. Or excuse me, 1820. And it's from a senator. It was his son. I think it's Drayton, Colonel Drayton. It says his father was a officer in the War of 1812. That's not translated. I have to do some work on that. These two were together. They're very delicate. You can see it's starting to rip off there. I'm going to have to do something to save it. But they're both U.S. soldiers being discharged and returning to New York, which is their place of residence. This one's for a sergeant, the U.S. infantry, and this is for a private, the U.S. infantry. So I guess this is their travel documents when they were traveling back from Columbia, South Carolina to New York City. This is their pay. This is a requisition, I think it's for feed or something for Confederate horses from the 5th Regular South Carolina Volunteers, I think. Dated 1862. It was received at Centerville, Virginia. 1,736 pounds of hay, I believe. And I think it's from, I can't remember who. It's a colonel. Yep, a colonel. Here's requesting it. I have never had Civil War pieces like this. And this is just a program from a reunion, 1912, I believe, of the 121st New York Volunteers. I've never had anything from the Civil War like this. I'm very excited. If you guys have any opinions on any of this, what I should do with it, how to save it, how to preserve it, let me know. We'll see what else we got. Alright, it's tough to follow up after those letters. They're really, really cool and rare, I think. But we'll move on. This is a 1977 illustration of the Soviet air defense weapons for the U.S. Army Air Defense School. Really cool piece from the Cold War. And there's some more posters and things in here. I'm going to grab those out and we'll see what else. Alright. There's kind of some, generic paperwork, some pamphlets and stuff left, but this is all the main pieces that are left I'd like to show you. This is 3 letters from a private. World War II, they're all postmarked. Well, this one's 41, 42, and from Troop A, 102nd Cavalry. I believe that was some of the photos that I showed earlier. This is a 1950s Armed Forces Talk magazine, 1952. Really cool articles. Some more press release photos. This is of some airborne troops. And dated 1963. That's the 82nd Airborne. I guess they jumped over South Carolina. Here's another great photo. Where's your roll? 82nd Airborne again. And they were playing Op 4, or the aggressor, in some war maneuvers. 1964 is when it's stamped for the library, so it's probably the same. 1963. A young airman beside a P-51. heat transporters for WW1 anchor. Still in the pack. Well, it's open, but that's pretty cool. This is actually a letter from this soldier to, I can't remember if it's a girlfriend, sister, family member, but he mentions in here going to parachute training school and then to Vietnam. And it's dated July 1968 from Fort Jackson. Fort Gordon informational map. This is just the old news release photo of the South Carolina State Capitol. And this is a bad part of American history, but this is from a news release photo of, I think they raised the Confederate flag over a high school during integration as a protest at that high school. Must have been a big Confederate collector or something. This, I happen to know, this is General James Dozier. I've had a lot of his stuff from here in South Carolina. He was the Adjutant General of the National Guard here in South Carolina and a World War I Medal of Honor recipient. I don't know what they're signing, who the rest of the people are, but this is a letter signed by General Dozier about someone trying to create an insignia for their battalion, Lieutenant Colonel John Hannigan, in 1941. Really neat piece. Excuse me. And I think that's about it for that. Like I said, there's a couple of little newer books and pamphlets in here, but nothing really of. Oh, this, I almost forgot. This is a packet of field training documents for Soviet, like their tactics. So it has these transparent plans where you can like lay it over a map and figure out the different Soviet tactics for tanks and infantry and different things like that. It's really, really cool. Yeah, there you go. I think that's what it includes there. Neat piece of coal. Alright, hope everybody enjoyed the video today. I have 2 more videos that I need to do. I'm kind of behind. I went to a recent yard sale that spanned from one city to another city. They do it once a year. I've never gone. Me and my stepfather went to that, and I found some World War I paintings and a few other military things that I haven't even unboxed yet to remember what I bought, but we'll do a video about that, as well as another video about some 1st Infantry Division World War II stuff that I just picked up last week. Those should be coming out in the next few weeks, I guess. Hopefully next week, but I can't promise that. Appreciate everybody for watching, and again, any help with any of these items, if you know values or a place I could go or how to preserve them, I'd appreciate that info. Just make a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.